as expected. But if I ask you, what are your sort of two learnings from this conversation? What have you learned?
I think my greatest takeaways and things I resonate with, I think number one was the whole bit about impatience. It's so true. And, I can be pretty impatient too sometimes. And I've got to tell myself to slow down, think about things a little more. My attention to detail is zero because I'm so impatient. And so that's what I learned. I think that was a great tip, is that, be patient. Things will come, things will get better. Take your time. And the other thing I think was what Salman spoke about, and which Asif agreed with, which is around the whole emotional intelligence bit. I think I really, and I've seen this also in my own career with so many people I've worked with, and all the ones that have been successful in life, honestly, were far higher on the EQ than the IQ. Okay, and I've seen tons of people who've got really high IQ, far more intelligent than all these other people, but not as successful, haven't managed to move ahead so much, have had issues, because I think it is all about building those relationships. So those were my two key takeaways. What about you, Fariha?
So Talat, one, I agree on EQ. I think that's something, when I reflect back, things where I could have done better. I think if I really sort of look at it from a very microscopic point of view, eventually it boils down to relationships and emotional intelligence, where I did not pick up the subtle nuances or instances, right? And it still does happen. So I think for me, that is something which is a great reminder again. And the second thing is, I think they both mentioned follow your passion, don't run after money. I think it is so important, because you have to live a fuller life, and fuller life has various aspects. Money is one part of it, an important one, but one part of it. So Talat, we've got, as always, we are getting a lot of good traction on social media pages, and very good, useful comments, as well as questions. So there is one question, maybe because it's that time of the year, particularly in Pakistan, where the graduates are sort of gearing up, there's sort of career drive happening. But, at the same time, there's some mid-career. They're asking that, we are applying for jobs and we're not getting enough responses, or some are getting interview calls, and what is it they can do to prepare for an interview? Do you have any tips for them?
I guess, I guess the usual tip is, please research the company well. You'd be shocked. I still interview people when I ask them, what do you know about our company? Which is like interviewing 101. They say, oh, we think this. Not good enough, guys. So really, I cannot stress this enough. Research this company to death. You have no excuse. You have Google, you have people you can ask, there are networks. There's a lot more. In fact, you can go beyond Google and look at their financials, know the numbers of the company that you're interviewing at. So number one is preparation on the company itself. And I think the second one is, and Salman and Asif kind of spoke about this as well, is be genuine. I think when you're preparing for this interview, be yourself. And again, when I say be yourself, it's not like you need to be when you're lounging in front of the TV watching a show. I didn't mean that kind of being yourself, but the genuineness, the honesty shows in your body language, it shows in your eyes when you're going in for that interview. So be genuine, be honest. If you don't know the answer to something, it's okay to say you don't know, better than building a story that may not be correct, because that comes across, your credibility again becomes impacted. So yeah, those are the two key things for me. What about you, Fariha?
Yeah, very similar. I think I do believe a little bit preparation on what I know these days it's Zoom, and we've covered it in our previous episode. So, prepare, make sure the light, the technology works, and if it's face to face, you know what you're wearing, and for women, you're not wearing uncomfortable shoes because it shows on your face. So one, that. The other part, Talat, and I think Salman also mentioned, because you see, Pakistan, it's a growing economy, it's a developing country, which means yes, there are opportunities in the corporate sector, but sometimes you don't want that also. So I'm just challenging the fact also that why not at this stage you think about, related to your passion, that you want to start here, maybe a new business or a startup. So for that, preparation is needed. For that, again, confidence is needed, because you've got to sell your idea. But I'm saying, be prepared to follow any of these paths rather than just being strict to finding a job in the corporate sector.
Absolutely. Some great advice there, Fariha. Thank you.
So thank you, Talat. With that, we come to an end of our show. Please do write to us or message us on our social media pages. We will respond, or we'll get back to you very quickly if you have any question for us. So thank you so much.
Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.